The other reading I will do, and it's very short. Someone once asked Yogananda, is it possible for inspiration to be under the control of one's own will? Yes, indeed, the master replied. He was very busy just then dressing to go give a lecture. Seating himself, he said, take down this poem. O Father, when I was blind, I found not a door which led to thee. But now that thou hast opened my eyes, I find doors everywhere, through the hearts of flowers, through the voice of friendship, through sweet memories of all lovely experiences. Every gust of my prayer opens a new door in the vast temple of thy presence. What a beautiful poem. And I believe that poem won an award, that it was submitted in a poetry contest and it won an award. And just think that Master he was in the middle of something else and someone said, can inspiration be given at will? He said, yes, yes. And he just sat down, said, write this down. And then this is given an award. So, well, it's nice to hold this thought. If Master can do it, I can do it. Now, obviously, Master could do all kinds of amazing things that may be too high for us to accomplish this morning, but we have to hold that that is our potential and that we can learn to do anything that he also could do. And if we hold that, then we are on a very good trajectory. We're headed in the right direction towards our not human potential, but divine potential, our potential to become one with God. Now, I want to speak about why I chose this topic. And 2 days ago now, we were having choir practice in the monastery, and we sang a song called The Christmas Mystery. And I just love that song, so I chose it. And I wanted all of this younger generation of monks here to tune in to Swamiji. So I explained to them that Swamiji received that particular song, that particular piece of music, all in a flash as he was driving on a bridge in California, a well-known one, named the Oakland Bay Bridge, which is a very Rajasic kind of place. I mean, it's this huge bridge where there's probably thousands of cars on it at any given time, and people usually, if it stops up, people are honking their horns and everything. And Swamiji received this entire beautiful, beautiful song that many people love. I find it very inspiring, the Christmas Mystery. He received it just in a flash, and then he went home and he had to write it down. And he had to bring it out in its entirety. And the monks and I, we were joking, what a problem to have, to be able to receive such inspiration, but then you have to bring it down for everyone else so that people like us can receive it and understand it and learn to sing it. Interestingly, as I looked that up, I can't remember even if I looked it up to be able to talk to you guys or if I looked it up to make sure I was telling the monks the right thing or just out of fun. But when I looked it up, Swamiji also received another song at that same time also about Christmas. I think it's called That Night. So not only did he receive, I was blown away by the fact he just received one song. And by the way, this receiving one song, it's not just words, it's also the melody. And it's not just the melody, that song I believe has 3 or 4 parts. So he received all of that just in a flash. It's just amazing to me. And so that is our potential. And today we're trying to talk about how can we receive that whenever we want. Let's say we are an artist and that we have to do some creative work. Let's say we take someone's money and they say, please make me a painting or a sculpture or whatever. And I'm sure all of us, we've had these flows of energy where the thoughts are coming, the creativity is coming. It's like we're in this space where we just know what to do. And then I'm sure we've all had moments where we just don't know what to do. And it just seems like there is no answer and creativity's not there. And if we are a paid artist and we take someone's money and tell them we will have a painting or whatever done for them on a particular date, that then we get in this space. Okay, I have to get this done. Where's the creativity? And here's the thing, the creativity it's always there. And it is our level of energy that allows us to receive creativity. Let me go a little bit more into that. Swamiji would talk about the thing that blocks creativity, that blocks inspiration, is our desires. That we can't open ourselves up to receive divine grace, to receive inspiration, if we have all of these conflicting desires inside that are saying, yes, I should go this way. No, I shouldn't. Maybe I should go this way. No, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just rest. No, maybe I shouldn't. And it's all of these little voices on the inside that are confused, that block inspiration for coming. So often Swamiji would say, okay, we've understood that desire is our great enemy. Desire is the problem. So question number one is, he would say, okay, but what makes you want it? In other words, where do these desires come from? And usually he would leave that as a rhetorical question. He wouldn't answer it. And I've been meditating on that question for many, many years. And the first answer I came up with was, well, these are lodged in our subconscious mind, and these come from association, you could say, even in past lives, that perhaps, I don't know, 200 incarnations ago, someone fed you pasta. I don't even know that the Italians were eating pasta 200 years ago, but or 200 incarnations ago, whatever the case may be. That's not the point. But let's say you had it for your first time, whoa, okay, and you liked it, and then you kept repeating it incarnation after incarnation, and now in this incarnation, that desire is very, very strong. So that's one answer, that through repeated association in many incarnations, we build up these desires. And so that is what makes us want something. That's one answer. That's not the only answer. Another answer is that these are lodged in the subconscious, and you could think of the subconscious, you could think of the conscious mind as an island that you see, and you only see this little piece of land. But underneath the ocean is a huge piece of land supporting and holding that up from the ocean floor. And that is then connected to the entire planet, right? And that is like the subconscious mind, that all of that land underneath the ocean that we can't see, that then is connected to this huge planet, is our subconscious mind. And so whatever little thought that's coming to the surface that we have, it's part of something very, very vast that has been created for many, many incarnations. And it's something that, because it's subconscious, it's hard for us just to grab onto or even to change. Part of what we're doing in practicing Kriya, in becoming deeper and deeper meditators, is to learn to become aware of all of these thoughts that are in the subconscious mind and take control of it. But we can't really take control of the subconscious mind with the subconscious mind or the conscious mind. We can take control of it with the superconscious mind. That it is the superconscious mind that is dictating and making the choice, okay, now I'll use my conscious mind, now I'll use my subconscious mind. I've been struggling to learn Hindi for a long, long time. And yesterday I did a Hindi satsang and I think it went okay. So I am getting there. But in learning the language, at least I've been realizing, when you first learn a language, you use your conscious mind and you go to your first language and you just try to translate word by word by word. Um, but when we're little children, our subconscious mind is really open and we're just receiving everything, and we put together all kinds of little nonsense sentences, even if they don't make sense, and all the adults laugh and everything. But when we become adults, we get afraid to just say nonsense things. Um, but anyway, the point here is we become conscious uh, as we learn a language of, am I just saying this subconsciously? And when we can really flow in another language, that we're able to just draw actually on the minds of other people, um, on their subconscious minds, and just get into a flow. And this is just the way that we say it. Once Swamiji was, I don't remember whether he was in Switzerland or in Italy or in France, but Switzerland, as you know, is kind of in between both of those, and they speak both French and Italian there. And wherever Swamiji was, someone asked him, how do you say such and such? I can't even remember the language. They may have asked, how do you say it in French, or how do you say it in Italian? And he said, just wait, let's just make the story clear. Let's say, and I'm not sure if this is technically right, but the point will get across. Let's say they asked Swamiji, how do you say such and such in Italian? He said, wait until we cross and get into the Italian border, then I'll tell you. I can't quite get it right now. And once they got into Italy, then he said, this is how you say it. That he could just tune in more easily to all the Italian minds. Here's the point. There's lots of subconscious forces that are there always around us. And these too can make us want it or make us not want it. Remember, Master said environment is stronger than will. So if we want to have inspiration at will, we should associate with people who are inspired most of the time. If we want to just, I don't know, not be good, then we would associate with not good people. But of course we want to be good. Point here is pay attention to who you associate with. We want to associate with happy, inspired, joyful people. Here's another part of the equation. How do we become or draw on inspiration at will? When we're joyful, it's just there. It's like there's answers all over the place. You think, yes, of course, we could do this or we could do that. But when our energy goes, brr, boo, boo, then there is no solution. No, I don't know. Just leave me alone. It'll never work. And we get grumpy and there are no solutions. And so we want to be in that state of joy all the time. Well, how do we do that? We have to learn to control our energy. There's several people on screen here that have been doing the energization. We've been doing the energization exercises every morning together. And for the last 18 days or whatever it's been. And some mornings I wake up, and when I first wake up, I think, okay, I've committed myself to this. I'm doing this. I'm going to go be with everyone else. But afterwards, I'm just going back to bed. I just can't. I didn't get enough sleep last night. And I know everybody's different. Some people just pop out of bed and they're all cheerful and happy. Yay, yay, yay. I'm not one of those people. I pop out of bed and I say, okay, I've committed to this thing. I'm going to go do my best. And so I kind of stumble to my laptop and turn it on and see all the smiling faces, and I make a decision. I'm going to be happy and joyful no matter what. But here's what I've already known this, but I've been learning it even more deeply all these last days. As the energization exercises go on, I feel really happy. I don't need to go back to bed. Who wants to go to bed anyways? There's so much to do in this life. And so by the end of the energization exercise, all right, I'm ready. Let's do some Mahamudra. And then after that, all right, I'm ready. I wouldn't dream of wanting to go back to bed. Let's meditate. I have a tool. Let's do Kriya. Let's do Hong Sa. Let's take control of this crazy subconscious mind And let's get into the super conscious mind and let's be a joyful person. Also, we have many different people leading the energization exercises every morning. And the ones who are the most magnetic are the ones who are the most joyful. And how did they get that way? They weren't, maybe they were just born that way, but even so, they got that way by their past lifetime spiritual efforts. And wherever we are right now, we need to just make a decision that we're going to go in the right way. But the people who are the most magnetic are the most joyful and they have the most energy. And now we have tools to become more energetic, but there's more to this. I've learned so much from this 30-day energization challenge, by the way. There's more to this. And that is that as we first it's just, okay, do I have low energy or do I have high energy? But then we learn to sensitively control that. And we can learn to feel at what level is the energy in my spine, and how can I just take it up sensitively to the next level. And we learn to do that in meditation, but then even throughout the day, we learn to do that. In the Hindi satsang last night, someone asked me, how can I take control of my thoughts throughout the day? And I started with, well, in Hong Sa, and she got all impatient and said, no, no, no. I said throughout the day, and I said, wait. In Hong Sa, we definitely are watching our thoughts. Because every time our thoughts wander, we have to bring it back to Hong Sa and the mantra. And so we learn to become very aware of our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. And then most people in the beginning think, okay, now I stand up and just go do whatever I want to do. But no, we have to learn throughout the day also to watch every single thought. And in the beginning, that just sounds absolutely ridiculous, impossible, too crazy. But as we go, we learn it's finite, that you actually only get a finite number of thoughts each day. And it's actually not that big. And that we can learn to put in more and more positive thoughts. We can learn to put in whatever our japa may be or whatever form of God we want to think of. And as we start doing that and adding that, we become more and more joyful, and we really then begin to learn the type of thoughts that I'm manifesting right now, everything that has to do with where is my level of consciousness, and specifically, where is my level of consciousness in my spine? And we can learn to just meditate for a few minutes, just do a few kriyas, kind of reset the level of energy in the spine and let it float up to our natural higher place. And we have great, great tools that we have been given. We just have to learn to utilize them and learn to become very, very good at them. Another way that we can gain inspiration at will is go to the saints. And you might think, because the saints have inspiration all the time. They're always inspired. That connection with God never gets severed for them, that it's always flowing. And you might think, well, yeah, but where are they? I don't know any saints that I could just go knock on their door or send them a WhatsApp message. Well, first of all, you have Swamiji on YouTube, you have his voice recordings, you have Master's voice recordings, and then you have this particular lineage. You have all of the different books that Jyotishji and Deviji have written, and you can listen to their voice and watch them. You have to want to be in the company of a saint. You have to tell God, demand to him or her, you put me in this mess. One of the ways out is through the saints. So you have to bring a saint into my life. You can tell him just like that. He won't get mad. He's happy about it. He'll say, very good. Okay, I will send you one or maybe even two. But you have to ask. And so be careful what you ask for. Be clear in what you ask for. And start asking for the right things. Here's another thing about the subconscious mind. You've probably heard many people say, I didn't know what the answer to this problem was, so I just went to sleep and I woke up in the morning and it was there. Then I knew. And so they believe that the answer came from the subconscious mind. But that's actually technically not true. What ended up happening is they let themselves become peaceful enough. And every night when we fall asleep, we do go into the subconscious, but we also touch into the superconscious mind. And so by becoming peaceful and just relaxing and knowing that an answer was always there, the superconscious could peep through and give that solution that they were looking for. So know that all of our inspirations, all of our answers, all creativity, everything lies in the superconscious mind. And don't feel that you can't access that. That many, even just normal, regular, worldly people, they get a glimpse, they get a flash of intuition that gives them the answer. Um, Now, this man, he's not a just regular worldly person. He's quite a developed soul, but he was the man who developed India's first supercomputer. And he told me that uh, when he was getting the contract from whatever government employee or whatever, the night before, he saw the whole entire scene clearly in his, he said his dream, but if you are seeing the future in your dream, that's not a subconscious dream. It's a superconscious dream. And he told me he saw it absolutely clearly. And then the next day, he went into that government man's office, and the whole scene just went exactly the way that he saw it. I have a different friend who's a swimmer. Um, and one day he won his swimming race when he was young. And he looked up at the clock, and it was his fastest time he'd ever swam, the 100, must have been yards in America. Um, and he was tapping into the superconscious mind. And so people wonder, well, how does that work? Is there a part of myself that can see into the future? And the answer is yes. There is a part of yourself that knows absolutely everything throughout all time, throughout all space, everything that will ever happen in not only your life, but everybody else's life around you. That is a real part of you. And it is our job to learn how to open up to that. And that comes with wanting to be more in tune with the Guru, wanting to listen sensitively without our own likes and dislikes and emotional craziness, but learn to just calm all of that, listen sensitively. Divine Mother, what do you want here? And then she will tell us, she will speak to us. This is just a different way of learning how to be in tune with God's will. That's another way of learning how to get into the superconscious mind. So when we're trying to create something, we have to learn to listen, how to be sensitive. And it's a matter of learning to listen sensitively. So on one level of our being, let's become more calm, more peaceful, so that we can receive, so that we can listen. But let's not be passive, and let's not always be quiet. There's a time for also using our will and pushing energy out into the world and giving what we receive. I'm looking at the clock. I have to stop. It's been a joy. I hope that you feel inspired, that you too can get inspiration for whatever you want to learn about, and that you feel that you can do whatever it is that you want to do in whatever special mission God has given you to accomplish in this lifetime, your very particular Dharma.